Hello everyone, this is Glenn back with another Blood Bowl match. We're going to look back at the two undead teams from our League of 8. We had the round robin and then the playoffs. So these teams finished 5th and 8th in our league, and I think actually I'm absolutely certain that they're the only two teams from the 8 that we haven't yet seen. So yeah, two undead teams came in, two beginner coaches. And yeah, both took undead, which is a good solid starting team. One started with 3 ghouls, the other with 2, but otherwise were very similar rosters. Yeah, let's see. I think at this stage they both have 3 ghouls in their lineup and 2 wights, 2 mummies, and a of skeletons and zombies to fill out the spaces. One of the teams had a mummy die fairly early on from a thrown rock, and then replace them again. So pretty evenly matched here. Different league records, of course. See, Tonto Ironbones finished 5th in our league. Zombie Stingers with a nice punny name, who finished 8th. Managed to get a couple of draws in, but then lost the final game with the Nurgle team, who only managed the 1 win against this undead team. So we're going to let them set up and then look at those, see if we can clear the weather. I always find it odd when this team plays because it's the same emblem as my human team, the Anaheim Hornets. Actually, we start looking at let's start looking at this team here. So ghoul with block over here, skeleton with block, mummy with guard. No other advances on these, so these 3 zombies I think on the line. Yeah, second mummy has an advance. A white with guard over here, skeleton with block, and a ghoul with block up the back. The bench is looks like an agility 4 ghoul on the bench. We'll look at the other team too. Yeah, so choosing to save the agility 4 ghoul for when this team are attacking. Potentially less useful in defence as a zombie or a skeleton, and certainly more fragile. So get a bit of protection for the more valuable ghoul and the more fragile ghoul. Lost our icons and on a bit, so we can look at this other team. Okay, so that was a high kick. Ghoul moved out to try and grab it and drop the catch. Yeah, so a few advances on this one. This ghoul taken Nerves of Steel, or rolled a double for their first advance. That was There were a few ways you could go. I think a passing stat on a ghoul is probably where you're going to be looking if you want to make the most of the double. I don't think strength skills are as useful. Ghoul with sure hands back here, and get block on this zombie. Guard and stand firm on this mummy. So the most experienced mummy we've got in the league with 2 advances, and yeah, guard and stand firm, both solid choices. So yeah, ball scattered back to where the ghoul was standing in the first place, and the zombie zombie stingers attacking for this first drive, so taking the first turn. So probably just got to look at securing the ball. The ball's pretty safe as it is already, in a tackle zone, out of the opposing team. No rush to be getting the ball forwards necessarily. Marks up to the mummy. Looks like there'll be 3 dice on that skeleton next turn though, from that mummy. Sort of giving that away. Zombie Stingers did have a 3rd ghoul on the bench, another one with sure hands. And the zombie, not sure why they're going for the pass there, probably necessary. Undead aren't really a passing team. Ghouls can kind of pull it off, but they're more about just get in someone's hands and run them up the pitch and protect them. Would have been a cheeky star player point, would have been the only benefit there. Instead it's left the ball on the floor, and further up the pitch, so still reached this turn, but the Iron Bones can look at getting some ball pressure on this turn potentially if they can make a gap here. They'd have something like a 2 dice block on here on the white, and the white could blitz this skeleton aside and get through. Might be a good place to look. Using the blitz there, though. Potentially then get the ghoul through with only one dodge out of that square. I'll go round, but still that's pressure on the ball straight away. Hadn't passed and just held back there, wouldn't have been up there. So there, there was a 1 dice block between the two whites at first because no assist, but this white's able to assist when you've got that sort of 2 facing 2. So blocking with this skeleton first, maybe on this skeleton or the white, either way. I'd probably have gone for the white, I think, like I was saying, and then this white could have blitzed and got through. Used the blitz over there, which got the ball through just fine. But I just wanted to highlight that if you've got this sort of two against 2 facing off sort of situation, the person with guard should be blocking second, because this one can use his assist, get rid of one of these players, then this player can then assist as well, because they're not being marked by a second player. And we could have had this skeleton knock the white back, this white block this mummy. If you only get a push, you're then pinning them against the touchline. But that's the way to get two dice blocks there, rather than when you've got a guard. You have the guards block later when everyone's used their assists, because you can be clearing more space. So players without guard can then put assists down. Just would have been a good way to get two dice blocks in there rather than a 1 dice followed by a 2. Stick there, making a nice safe block. Do need to do something about this ghoul. This mummy's going to have to go for it, which is a fail. So that's 2 rerolls down already. I think this mummy's used both of them as well. Okay, so gets him away from the ball, that ghoul. And then took her down on they're both down there. So turnover, quick turnover. Still had a white on the floor over there. Really important to get that player up first. This time the white's been left available to perhaps move, maybe blitz over here later. I'm probably out of reach of blitz. That's a removal. And I found regeneration, so that's a player down for the Stingers. Do have backup on the bench, but they're short for this drive now, which they're attacking on and sort of floundering in attack. Probably need to be doing more about dealing with the ball earlier than they have been. I'm sorry, looking at the wrong team. They're not playing. Although ball is being ignored at the moment. In either case, I see this white getting forwards. This stun here means that so white get forward. Another tackle zone on the ball, a difficult one to remove as well. Maybe didn't need to go for the pickup there. Got it anyway. Very risky pass. I would have scored that turn if I had, but for 6, yeah. But there's no hurry to do that. Like holding the ball there would have been great protection. Like I don't think this ball would have been able to do a lot about that. And then throw in a tackle zone to a catch in a tackle zone. Not entirely necessary. Got for the target of the ghoul and gets the mummy a step closer to the ball as well. Maybe I'd like to see that ghoul move off at the end. Still had some movement left. Dodged out. Come over towards this area. Does have the protection of standing next to the mummy in that situation. That's white off the pitch. Do need to be careful where whites tend to play on the wings. They can be sucked into the touchline a bit. And needs a bit of protection. Stand firm is a great upgrade for them to take to stop that happening. They can't be shoved off the pitch if you can't move them. Yeah, it's using block on that, the block on that ball, block on the ghoul to good benefit there. Yeah, shuffle forwards and it's another tackle zone on the ball. Coming to pressure it. So really, the Stingers need to deal with these two ghouls who are in their half because they're the danger players for scoring, and ideally they want to get it up the other end. To watch out that this skeleton doesn't get shoved off the pitch as well. They're already down players. That is a ghoul dealt with. So good removal there. Important player down. Go for the ball, so grabbed it with sure hands and run up. So a bit of protection there. This ghoul available to come and offer a bit more protection, possibly. This white is the danger, I think. So this ghoul being back here probably would have been ideal. This skeleton zombie could have then been around this way somewhere, and this white would have struggled to get through. I think the white's still struggling to get through, but I think we're looking at this mummy here. It's got a blitz on. See if it can fit around. So 1, 2, 3. It'll be a go for it, but this mummy can get through. Though pushing that ghoul back there makes that more difficult. Can defend patiently. Got a white poised to strike. Other one here. So yeah, using the follow up to get into the ball carry out. So this ghoul is now surrounded by opposing players. Relatively easy dodge out there, but then the position of this white makes it difficult to do much. And brought down by a lack of block. Yeah, early use of some of those rerolls. So just without them. And there's the blip. Putting an injury down as well on that ghoul. Just the rest of the match, but it's an important player out. I do have a direct replacement on the bench, another ghoul with sure hands. This ghoul available to perhaps come snatch the ball up, just free of tackle zones. A bit more security first, make sure this ghoul can't go anywhere. Yeah, so ball is safe, but yeah, plenty of opportunity to go run for it because none of this player doesn't want to be dodging. Mummies can't reach. Got the skeleton over here who can't really get anywhere. So yeah, making the run was definitely the right choice there. Holding up there would have left the other team with a chance of grabbing that ball back. Made the dodge though with the skeleton there, which does mean back a bit of blitz. So all they've done now. Don't know why that mummy didn't stand up. That's another injured ghoul. That's up for the next game as well. So that's safely removed. And for actually, we'll let the touchdown happen. So that's 1-0 on a defensive drive, which we've seen a lot in games recently. Of the kicking team managed to get an early touchdown. Definitely makes it really difficult for the opponents to then get back, because they know the best they're going to be is level and kicking in the second half. At this point, what I was going to do is I just realised the commentary was still on, which I've been turning off for these videos, so I'm going to turn that off and come back to it. Don't too many voices on here. Right, so 4 players down. So it's Stingers now. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, it's 9 players. With 2 turns to score and only 1 goal. Doesn't look that likely. They maybe need to consider, if they are going to be able to go for it, don't worry about symmetry. You need to kind of crush one flank. You're probably going to need a white to pick up the ball and throw it as well, because you're going to need a goal up here, because they're the only ones really with the speed to cover half the pitch in 2 turns. A white can do it, so you can go for it rolls, but you need to probably be looking at like both whites on one wing, try and crush your way through the weaker parts, which is the skeletons, but both these skeletons have blocks, so they're pretty well defended on the wings. But a goal quite far forwards. You're not going to get an assist in with the way they're set up here, so without guard as well, unless you've got guard mummy actually, so you could have a guard mummy in there, a white blitzing here with a ghoul ready to receive a pass perhaps from the other white, and just sprint down the line and then try and back them up as best you can with other players, but you don't really have the speed for that, being 2 goals down. But that's if you're going to score in 2 turns. I think that's how you're going to need to set up, sort of really heavy on one side and just try and roll down that flank. From the other team's point of view, scoring late in the half has made it really difficult for it to be level at half time, and they know they can go into the second half receiving the ball and attacking with a chance to go 2 up. And at that point the game's almost won. They're in a really commanding position. So smash that front line. Have followed up into the mummies though, so giving them sort of free 2 dice blocks. It would be good to see perhaps these players stand off, because these mummies here are sort of to discourage following up or to just take the blocks that they're offered as they happen. And they have followed up, just stand right next to them. He does mark the mummies, means they have to basically make those blocks, but all this player's going to want to do is block these zombies. Good opportunity to get them off the pitch. Just a push there, didn't follow up, would have been surrounded by 2 mummies. That's dangerous. This one didn't follow up either, so keeping away, not giving anything away to these mummies. Knows how dangerous they are. Another injury. Choosing to blitz with the ghoul there has ended up sort of denying a block to this white. Straight down onto the ball though. Has done that. But the guard white is probably more valuable getting stuck in. Maybe it would have been good to do that the other way around. Maybe blitz over here, try and free up the white if you wanted one, pressure in the ball. Because guard's a bit wasted down there at the moment. Got the guard stand firm mummy. Can try and He's the one who doesn't have a block on. So I can try and look at where's the assist going to be valuable. Can't really see it at the moment. So making a blitz on this zombie, zombie. I think he's actually an X-Saurus as well. There's a failed dodge in there somewhere. We're on the last turn here. Yeah. Yep. So no touchdown coming because there's not the time left. Can just look at try and cause some damage just to push on that mummy. Second one's there. Yeah. So this is the guard mummy. Looks like, yeah, he's not going to get 2 dice on this one, I don't think. Or does? Extra assist, okay. 2 assists against 1. And half time, yep, so kicking team, 1-0 up at half time. Like I said, we've seen in a few games, so Stingers have a lot to do if they're going to get back into this game. They have to play really tight and probably aggressively in defence, and need to turn the ball over quickly to score, and then just try and maybe force overtime or do that twice. It's a really tall order. I like to happen. So set up on defence here. Mummy spread out quite wide and unevenly. I want matchups they can get with the yeah, the benefit of setting up second and knowing you're taking the first turn, a bit. Cool, moving on to the high kick. Cool, yeah, so what I was just saying, actually I'm going to look at it from this side because this is the team we're talking about. You've got the benefit of knowing where the opponent's mummies are and where you're going to be wanting to attack. You can sort of pick a side when you're setting up, seeing how the defence is set up, and could have done things like picking on this mummy. So you've got guard on this one doesn't, so you could have had both mummies together here to just bully this one and start making your hole there instead. Leave this one with a lot of work to do to be able to get anywhere. This is the important guard stand firm mummy that wants to be involved. You don't need to stand next to them. Mummies are so slow that you can just stand back, make them try and catch you, and obviously you're going to need to watch a bit of your sort of line over here, but you don't need to give away that block. Both mummies paired together here, making the most out of one of them having guard, which is this one. You've been 2 dice on that mummy, cleared out this zombie as well. Could have got rid of this one, perhaps with the white, and that could be a hole that you can be getting your goals through and shifting up the pitch in a cage. Don't need to spread. You don't need to engage all the defenders on the line of scrimmage. Obviously you can, but when one of them's a mummy, you can try and keep away from them. Don't need to stick someone in their face. Could have just ganged up on this one and been making the hole there. Because the Stingers are so down on players, it's kind of easy-ish to do that anyway. But having both mummies over here to just sort of bludgeon through could have just been a more solid attacking setup. But looks like they are going to get 2 dots mummies anyway. The other one was only a push, but some really bad regeneration rolls from this team. And yeah, really effective player removal. So there is a hole. I'm sure we're going to see the ghoul on the ball move up this way. There's nothing wrong with this. The suggestion I was making was just about making the most of setting up seconds, seeing where the defenders were. And don't know. That's such. You read. Yeah, passing there is just. There's no need. There's no need for it at all. Undead are a running team. Like this ghoul on the ball here with the protection of this white and this skeleton. There was going to be no getting at the ball. Going for a tricky dodge as well. I don't know if that was a mistake, but yeah, that's a 5+ dodge into 2 tackles into. If they go for the ball, there were definitely safer routes. That might have been the game picking the route for the coach, because that square would have been the one to dodge to if you were to go for that. But that's but yeah, do have to play aggressively and take risks if you're going to come from behind like this. But yeah, there's a 4+ dodge and another 4+ dodge and a 4+ pickup. So, but yeah, into there was a 5. Push back. It's like, yeah, that one he's going to be levelling, which is a nice little boon. So we've had 2 casualties in the game to be levelling on 8. No, he didn't score a touchdown. So get a scoring threat in there, who has to be dealt with. Needs a reroll for the pickup, but it's made it. Not passing that time. Yeah, not really. Got a 1 dice blitzel from this ghoul. Doesn't look like there's an assist available. I think this white's going to need to get back for backup. Push going. Yeah. Going there with this ghoul available. Hasn't got an easy dodge out actually. I mean, this is the only easy dodge out, and that's the wrong way. So, what I was going to say about is if you're sort of square to the touchline with your setup, it's a difficult dodge out, but because this zombie anyway, it's already a difficult one. It's got rid of the ghoul, freed up the ball carrier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, it can score next turn. It's not dealt with. Means the zombie stingers are really are going to be 2 touchdowns down with the game pretty much getting away from them. So that was 3 up. Oh. I don't know what happened to that turn. I mean, this white could have got down here to get some pressure on the ball. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go for it, and the blitz was available. Oh, sorry, it was that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm not sure if there was sort of some soft conceding maybe going on at this point. I was listening in on the game but not watching it, so I couldn't really see what was happening. I was playing as well at the same time. We were all just in the same Discord chat. Yeah, I know there was some talk about yeah, the availability of stalling, which I've done for at least one turn. And yes, I think we've got a bit of a soft concede situation, so I'll probably skip through at this point. Yeah, you can definitely see like because we couldn't look at any of the zombie stingers early after the competition closed. I can look back and watch them, but the coach has definitely been improving since the beginning, and sort of and was the one coach who couldn't play any friendly games before, so they've been learning to play the game through just playing the league. Got the hang of scoring touchdowns really well. Got a couple of draws in, no wins as yet, and that has been improved. You can see that, like looking through all the games, you can see making some good moves. Still some mistakes coming in and stuff, but it's really outdone by an injury count game in this match last night. Yeah, with four injuries, two of them goals. You kind of really need two goals on the pitch to be doing much on their team, especially if you're gonna have situations where you need to score in two touchdowns and things like that. But yeah, there's not a lot else happening at this point, so we can skip through and let the game finish. It finishes 2-0, and yeah, we're basically done. Looks like they had a little go at. Let's watch the last two turns because they're in scoring position here. Can be stopped, so we've got the score being 1 over would have meant this one could have meant Blitz with an assist, but we've got the white here as well. Can maybe try and clear this white off. Another injury as well. So a touchdown scored and an injury. And yeah, that's the game over. So I've still got the Chaos and Vampires team to go to, which is my own match. My opponent, the Vampire coach, has moved house and is now waiting for a new Wi-Fi, things like that. So we'll get to that. I think maybe next week sometime. I can't remember where we were with when we were expecting that, but we'll get to that match. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the next one up, unless the Tontor Iron Bones and the York team in the league play their final first. But yeah, well, it'll be one of those two matches next. And yeah, we'll come back and have a look at that. Why don't you look at sort of armour and injury rolls? Yeah, so it's just it was rough stuff for armour, for injuries for them. Pretty even spread of dice. It's not things like that we can really be looking at. A lot fewer dice rolled by this team, which is probably quite telling. Not really go for it, so they'll pass. Only 4 dodges, so yeah, a lot more dice being thrown by this team, which we've been saying all the way through this series. Roll as few dice as you can, make the other team roll dice. That has played out in this game. This team, hang on, well, both teams there. But yeah, a lot more dice rolled by this team. Is going to be doing that. So things like 13 go for it, as opposed to I think it's 3 on the other team. Yeah, things like that are a difference. 4 dodges for this team against 9 here. So rolling more dice means you're going to fail things more often, and failing any roll is going to cause you a turnover and make it really difficult for you to play. So that's a key thing to look at still. But yeah.